Hello, Internet. Coming at you with a little GRIZZLY update. Poking along, tackling one thing after another, just checking things off the list. Got the shop on there. Had a chance to make up the X, Y, and Z stepper cables. Use some IGIS chain flex, 4-conductor wire, and some right angle connectors so they come out of the motors like that on the moving axes. So yeah, the thought behind this is to not have to hopefully worry about, any sort of like fatigue or, some silly little thing like that to cause a problem. So for how little you need to get it done, it's really not that much more expensive than, just some lamp cord or whatever else you would use. So on some more electrical related goodness, that was my head. So here's the lights, and they were installed previously, but I hadn't spliced the end of the wires onto the cable that's going to run down to the enclosure, so I got that done. And you can see there, then it converts to the cable that's white, and then a grommet where it pierces through the back of the enclosure. But yeah, they're pretty neat. I think they look the part at least. Yeah, they turn this way and adjust, and then also this way. So we'll see when we fire them up. Hopefully provide some nice light inside the, sort of bouncy white enclosure. That's yet to be determined, but keep your fingers crossed. So here you can see where the wire comes out. There's the grommet. And this white cable, it shows white because I thought it, accent the enclosure just tremendously. But no, really, that's what I had. It's some funny, let's see, 4-conductor shielded alarm cable. Anyways, so yeah, I got them run to there, and I haven't decided yet on the other side of this. They got to come to the box to be, made up. So they're heading that way. You'll see lots of little zip tie stickies, the bread and butter. But yeah, if you've ever used those, or if you're going to use them, I've found ones that you've had sitting around on the shelf for several years, the adhesive goes bad and they don't stick very well. So a week into your new project, all of your things will fall off, or that's happened to me before. So went the extra mile and made sure to purchase some fresh white and black zip tie stickies. And here's the other side. Ooh, wrong way. So yeah, there's the lights. So you probably noticed by now the big gob of cables and hoses and zip ties leading up to the cable chain. Take a little tour of that. So yeah, there's the hydraulic line is in there, the coolant line, the air line, and also the power wire for the motor. So yeah, everything fit nicely, and it's not, nothing is, you know, really stressed or strained. It all sort of stacks in there loosely. So I'm happy. What was I gonna say? We'll go around to the other side. This is another just chain flex cable product. So this is the little baby coolant line, and here's the air line. Both of those are controlled by you know, solenoids. So you know, G code, turn them on, or you can turn them off with a switch, button, whatever. And I'm not sure what, I don't have anything past here as far as the air stuff goes, but the thought was that, you know, down the line, we could, you know, do some sort of mist setup. So this is the solenoid, you know, air across the top, and then here's also a like a flow control valve. But yeah, I mean, the coolant system is definitely, you know, it's not the end all be all. It was, you know, have a little, you can see back there, had a little giant coolant pump from the lathe in there. Has a 3-phase coolant pump that was going to be switched out, and this is the pump from that. So for the time being, we'll run it, and I'm sure we'll change. It's just, you know, I know that the, you know, volume is not going to be there, but it'll definitely dribble a little bit of water. So let's check out. So yeah, this hydraulic line is fixed here, so I sort of hooked everything else to that. So we got one fixed end on either side, and you see the blue line continues down into where all the solenoids are, and the little coolant hose comes up right next to the return. Pretty fun, pretty cute. Yeah, this is, if you've never seen, this is Tygon tubing. It's pretty neat stuff. It's sort of tricky in this application because it is so like supple that it's hard to sort of, you know, hold on without like deforming it too much. So it requires light zip tying. Let's go look at the solenoids. Pop on a squat. Ooh, pardon the bright light. Okay. So yeah, the blue line comes in, and Medusa right here. This is the solenoids and everything for the intensifier and the in and the dryer and the air line out. So there's a couple T's and 90s here and there, but tested it out, and it's working. So next step is to connect with the other end. So the drawbar has been installed and tested. The intensifier and everything has been hooked up, hence the hydraulic line. Yeah, it's nice. Everything works peachy, other than one thing. This thing has been together previously and tested, and I took it apart when I painted it, and yeah, I must have done something to the seals or something when I put it back together, because it leaks. So definitely not a lot of leakage, but no problem. Pull that apart and address the seal. and get her back together, but it's good to see that it works. And yeah, I remember the seal, the hydraulic seal on there was like a standard, a typical fashion with like a hydraulic seal, and then there was a O-ring that like pressed into it, so it was just ferociously hard to get the hydraulic seal compressed and into the bore of the cylinder. So we'll see, but yeah. So here's the intensifier down here. It's the oil level. It's cool. The pressure, you can do some simple math, multiply that number you see on the gauge there times the your cylinder diameter and or the area of the cylinder, and get an idea of what's really going on. And it was right on our numbers though. Yeah, once we pull that cylinder apart and take a peek inside, I'll shoot a vid just on the drawbar with it running and cycling, because it's sort of neat. It's a little different than normal. So and for the inquiring minds, this hose here, this T used the I have a cap, couldn't find the cap, used it for bleeding and actually filling the system from the top down, because generally you want, or it's much easier to have one of these intensifiers be above the cylinder, so it's a self-bleeding system. Anyways, didn't have a cap for here, but did have this pre-existing very short made hose from previous project. And so stuck that on there, and I was able to find a plug for there to test the system. But yeah, that's not going to stay there. It looks a little goofy. So during some of the wiring for the stepper motors, I've been working towards getting the limit switches on there, and I found a slight interference issue with one of my Y limit switches with the sheet metal edge right here interferes with it. So that's one little snafu that needs to be addressed. But that's the other one, the Z and the X were no problem. So here's the trip for the X. It's movable. So there we are. So yeah, that was unexpected, but for how many things have been changed and moved around and revised and improved, the amount of snafus that we've run into along the way has been exceedingly small, considering. The keen observer would notice the oil content of the Chang Shang one-shot oil pump. Or is it a Chang Yang? Yeah, totally. It works, it's alive! You pump it, and it will pump. This pump will pump! So yeah, the one-shot oil system on here was originally all of the axes, but now it is only the Y, because that is the only dovetails remaining. So we had a pretty good chance of it working with no metering, and I'm happy to say that it seems to work. And yeah, you pump the handle and the oil comes out, and it seems to creep out just like the Nemo in the other room. When you pump it, and it evenly comes out along the saddle, the width of the saddle. So, I mean, I'm sure you could probably get it less messy with some, a meter on either side of the ways, but I'm gonna rock it. And you can see there's the brake line coming in through the bulkhead fitting. probably adjust that a little bit more. I thought it would be nice to not have that, you know, sort of sitting in the chips and sort of chafing back and forth. So I'd like to get that twisted up a little bit higher, so, you know, it's sort of in free air because it's sort of stiff like a brake line, yet supple. And that other 90 Liquid-Tight connector, or cord grip, or whatever you want to call it, that's where the X stepper motor power wires will slink out of and connect into that motor. Oh, that's the wrong way. Yeah, the ways here, nice. Let's see. Oh, you can't really see. Anyways, that's the back of the oil manifold is under that bellows cover there. So it comes in and then feeds the left and the right side. There you are, and there's the copper oil line that comes out and feeds the center. You may have noticed too, like the all of the transitions through the back of the enclosure for the wires, whoops, are utilizing these cord grip style, you know, watertight connections. And you see these onesies all the time for a single grip or a single cord. And found these are pretty awesome. They come in multiple, you know, sizes. These are all 1/2-inch holes, but this is a double one, so you can actually feed 2 smaller wires through one hole. So it's pretty snazzy. I'll go grab one, an extra one, show you up close. So yeah, you can see 2 holes, 1/2-inch. It's got like O-rings that seal. Pretty snazzy, makes things nice and clean. So I think that is about the gist of the GRIZZLY update this go around. Oh, but wait! Almost forgot about this. Got the pigtail on the enclosure. Sprung, looking proper. And got some wires pulled up to the disconnect. Other than that, oh, this is gonna be getting close to the last time I'm gonna be referring to the machine as the GRIZZLY G0704. It's gonna be having a sex change here real soon. Met with my cousin yesterday, was it? And he's the guy that did the graphics for the head of the machine, and he also did the other last sort of finishing sticker stuff. And so it has a name that goes right here, and also finalized for the button interface here, the 3 red, green, yellow buttons got some sticker things that go around them. So it's fun. I like those little finishing touches that, you know, it's cool to spend the time to make something sort of polished and, you know, like, oh, where'd you get that? I built it, brother. I built it. So appreciate everybody following along, and yeah. So until the next time, we'll catch you later, and thumbs up if you like, thumbs down if you hate it, subscribe if you really like it, I guess, or if you just want to be informed. when the next GRIZZ update comes. Thanks, really though.